Hello, everybody.
We're fucking back.
We are fucking back.
We are so back.
Oh,
it's good to see
my
you.
goodness. It's good to see you.
Not
dude.
that I don't live with you every day
Yeah,
or
I know.
anything.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, guys, welcome back to the cHaSe is dEaD podcast. We're your hosts. My
What's
name's
up?
Nick.
I'm Phil.
And we just did like 4 takes to do that
Yeah, that
walk-in
took
intro.
a while to get this started.
We were trying to adjust some lighting, and then on one of the takes, this painting just fell down.
And now my chair is being annoying.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's an interesting morning. Phil's actually having a forning at the moment.
I'm currently having a forning. It's a 40 morning.
Yeah.
Good forning, y'all.
How are you doing that right now?
Because
that's my question.
Here's the thing. I am highly educated in making bad decisions.
Okay.
And this is
What does that mean?
This is an academically superior bad decision right now. A 40
Can you
of
explain
course,
your reasoning? I'm gonna bring this.
It's Monday,
a little
right?
bit closer.
Everyone fucking hates Monday.
I mean, of course. It
Everyone.
is President's Day, though. Like, a
Okay,
lot
so
of shit is
even
off.
worse, right? Because the most useless office that we have and the most undemocratic office that we have to have one guy in charge of everything. But, I digress.
Now we're a republic. Everyone said it, right? We're not a true democracy.
Do you guys
we're
hear
a
that? I should have
republic.
put that up to the mic again.
Not
I'm so
again.
sorry.
I am not.
It wasn't an open. This is technically open. I drank some of it last night. I couldn't help myself.
I'm not
'Cause
gonna.
we were going to record last night, and then I drank.
Yep. That's what happens.
That is literally what happened.
Well, this is going to be a fun one. We're changing up the format just a little bit on this one, guys, just because of the way that we're going to be presenting the albums. So this episode is called All TYRON, No Ripper. So we're going to be going over.
I love that name.
I also really enjoy that name. Yeah, we're going to be going over the new slowthai album, TYRON. We're also going to be going over All Work and No Play, the 2004 effort by DJ Screw.
DJ Screw.
As well as the A Train Ripper. We're going to move away from politics for today in the sake of current events, and kind of just do something more local to New York, as well as just something that I think most people would find, I mean, maybe not interesting, but just something that I guess we should address, which has been this crazy spree killing that happened on the A Train line in New York.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it just happened.
It was crazy.
And Phil and I live right by an A train stop, as well as right by a J train stop where another stabbing had occurred. So
They actually think the A Train Ripper was that
the
guy
J
at
train?
Kosciuszko on the J.
Yep.
Which
So both
is-
of our train lines.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
everything that we try to take to go anywhere, like into the city and, do jobs or just have fun. Or for me, go into class, which is in downtown Brooklyn.
Yes.
I have to get on a train where I might get stabbed. So
Yeah,
I love living in the city. It's very fun. It's very nice.
it is. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Talk about what's going on, what information we have, and kind of what it's like living in the city, really much like during the entire pandemic.
Yeah.
I
I just want to say, are you proud of me that I have less liquid this time?
am
I only
proud.
have water and 40.
I also have liquid this time, so I'm a little bit more prepared. But yeah,
We all got liquid.
you've condensed it down. Hopefully,
have.
we won't need the bathroom break, but we'll see. If you need it, then you need it.
Well, a 40 at 10:30 in the morning, it doesn't bear well for not
doesn't-
going to the bathroom.
It really does not. Cool. Well, guys, as far as changing up the format this week,
Delicious.
every time, Coors, please sponsor us so he can
Please,
stop.
God, sponsor me so I
Please,
can
just
stop doing this shit.
please.
I'm just trying to make a bag and get free beer.
Exactly, right? So we're gonna just kind of present the albums to each other this week, a little bit more, because neither of us have really listened to each other's album for this week. Not for any particular reason. We just decided that we'd try it this way, where like instead of us going back and forth, it'd be kind of more of like a presentation to the other person and like reviewing it a little bit like that. Yeah. So do you want to begin? You want me to go first? What are you thinking?
You go first this time. I went first last time when I talked about future.
Future. Future in the past. So, I was listening to the new slowthai album. It's called TYRON. This is my like first, I guess, like listen of slowthai's discography, and I have to admit, my friend, I was very impressed. I was very, very impressed from the get-go. A friend of mine actually recommended this album just because I was looking for some new work. That's our laundry machine going off right
Someone's
there.
got laundry done.
Someone's got some laundry done.
Yeah,
But
just so y'all know, this is a very skeletal, I guess you could say, studio. If you
Yes,
couldn't
it is.
tell by how it sounds.
of course.
And us walking out of our bedrooms. But
Yes.
this is in our house.
Yep. It is sort of an active runway of sorts for most of the day.
This is a public space that we're working
is.
inside of right now. So this is like public access podcast. So it's like the PBP. I almost said the PPP.
It's the BBB. It's the beep 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 boop boop boop
The
boop.
teeny tiny,
It's a teeny tiny little podcast. All right.
But yeah, but just we are out in the wild. I kind of
We are a little bit.
One day I want to do
This in a park.
outside, or
Yes,
in a park.
I've
I
had
would
the
love
same
to do
idea.
that and like have other people on, and be like, "What's an album that would have to be like a 2 or 3 hour podcast?"
Yeah, we
though.
need a long time.
Or
to,
we'd have
do
to
that
like
properly.
just sit out for hours and
And that's
just,
the
like,
washer or the
put clips
dryer?
together.
It's the washer.
Yeah, it's one of them.
Yep. So TYRON by slowthai.
Yeah, hell yeah. You know what?
Um,
I'm gonna open that real quick because it will keep beeping. So I'll be right back.
You're gonna do that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll start to tell you a little bit about slowthai.
I'll be listening.
That's totally fine.
Talk to the viewers. Talk sensual to the viewers.
I will
know
do my
people
best.
love it when we have a sensual voice.
Yes. Oh, of course, of course. So
It's not like anyone complained about that.
specific comment complaints about Phil's sensual voice are always welcome and always needed. So please, it's a good course correction for both of us. So Phil, I'm going to be talking to you since you are over there a little bit. TYRON, like I said, it was the first album that I listened to by slowthai. I wasn't really familiar with his discography. I knew, I had heard his name, in and around rap and some projects that were coming out, but I had never listened to his first effort. So this was like his sophomore project, and I was kind of interested to jump in at that point in his artistry.
I'm back.
And you are back. I was really impressed, dude. I really liked this album. Like I listened to it just the other day. It came out on the 12th of February. And I was driving from Connecticut to New York. I had to go in to pick up equipment and then come back. And I made record time driving from Connecticut to New York listening to that, because it is just such an energizing album, like in many ways. And it has a nice breadth to it in the sense that, of course it's UK drill in a lot of senses, like that Skepta feature song, Cancelled, which we'll get into in a little bit. Of course, the chorus itself, now you're dripping blood, it's all that bleeding imagery. It's a very hardcore, grimy kind of song. And then you have other tracks on it NHS, that was sort of dedicated to the National Health Service, or ADHD, where it's more introspective, and it still has that kind of ripping flow. It's still very I guess canine in nature of how it attacks those issues, but it gets away from just the street antics. And when you're in the street antics kind of stuff, the one that comes to mind immediately for me is the song Mazza with A$AP Rocky. That song has been in my head since I've listened to it. So it's for 3 straight days. The chorus of him just na na Mazain, dude, that is still rocking in my head all the time. So it was really impressive. I really liked it. 14 tracks, 35 minutes. It's pretty much a breeze to listen to, but the tracks aren't, they aren't, I don't know how to put it. There's some projects that I've seen in the last few years that only run 20 minutes. And I know that most of the ones that are new that we've talked about have been in that camp. But, when it's 20 minutes, 5 tracks, and each are about 4 minutes long. Okay, I'm with you on that. That kind of makes sense to me. But if it's 20 minutes and 9 tracks, and each one is a minute, you sort of lost
you just did
me,
a couple of loops and put it together, called it an album. It's
Exactly.
you dude, come on.
Yeah, and I'm
Make
not
them
calling
some
out
full-fledged songs.
Yeah, I'm not calling out anybody specifically. I can't even think at the moment of a specific project. I think immediately of Ye by Kanye, but even that had a good amount of inspiration.
It had
some
it
length
also
to it.
because a lot of
It
the
was
songs
very
did have
short,
story,
though.
no matter how much they were an unrelatable story because none of us are multimillionaires who scam people during a church service. But wait, what'd you say?
Oh,
wait, what'd you say?
No, what were you talking about?
What were you talking about?
What was that scamming thing you were just saying?
I don't know. He's the Joel Osteen of rap. I mean, what? What? Who said that?
Anyway,
I can say that I'm from Houston.
Yes.
You fucked us over.
Yes, you can. My grandma loves Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen,
She does. Shout out to Barb, by the way. Shout out to my grandma. Yep, Joel Osteen. Everything that I've heard, kind of a piece of shit. But shout out to my grandma though. You're.
I would
dope.
say he's more of a piece of shit than the pastor who got caught, like kind of talking about his private jet and like.
Oh, that guy.
I would say Joel
the
Osteen is
tube,
more of a piece of shit.
The
than
tube
that guy.
full of demons guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
the tube full of
man,
I would
love
say
that
he's
guy.
more of a piece of shit than that guy because the whole Hurricane
I remember
Harvey
watching
thing
the
and
Leon
him not letting people into a completely dry and safe place.
Oh,
when
dude, it's
people
crazy.
are losing their lives and dying left and right. It's just like, dude, what are you doing?
Dude, the Tube of Demons guy. I watched that Leon Lush video. Shout out to Leon Lush, by the way. Talking
Be my
about it.
dad.
And dude, first of all, his take is hilarious on it. If you haven't seen that video, you should definitely watch it. I'll link it down below.
I'll link you down below.
Dude,
Sorry.
could you imagine your past? Like, imagine that that's your word of God every week saying that to you, like being like describing you and your family on the average like airline travel as a tube full of demons. Like, dude, that is fucking ridiculous.
You tried to like
man.
imagine you were someone who was
That's
like
so
trying
scary.
to like orchestrate like a trip with the church and he like denied getting on the plane with y'all and he gave you like another reason and then you see that video and he says tube full of demons and you're like,
So that's why you didn't go to
you're
Fort
like,
Lauderdale?
That's why.
That's why you canceled on the Fort Lauderdale trip?
That's why you didn't come to Greece with us,
Dude,
Seriously?
that
It
is
was Greece.
That's so
Jesus.
good. That is so good. Yeah. All right, we should get back on track so we can get back to DJ Screw.
Or if like,
Wow, I
never
never
mind,
even
you know what?
I never even started our countdown.
It's
timer.
fine. I can tell you how far in we
Yeah.
are. We are
totally fine.
currently
What are we at?
11 minutes in, almost 12
Fantastic.
minutes in. I can
Okay,
actually
good.
just keep time on this thing.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Cool.
I'm
so,
Father Time.
You are indeed.
By the way,
Father Time.
I didn't know that slowthai was British.
Yeah, no, I didn't either because, like I said, I had never listened to any of his stuff. I didn't hear him on a feature even, like in really anything. So when this came on, I was kind of shocked. Like I didn't really know what to expect because again, like a friend of mine was just like, if you're looking for new albums, this just came out and you might like it. Like it's, kind of your style, I think. And I was like, all right, cool. And I checked it out. His voice, the only time, like I was going to say, actually, that was one point I wanted to bring up, hearing him rap only in like attitude and like, I guess in the clarity of vision and voice, it reminded me of listening to Tyler, the Creator for the first time, which I know is a lofty, I know that's like a big say.
That's a bold claim.
That is a bold claim. I know.
I remember
but,
the first time I listened to Tyler, I was like,
but
oh, you
listening,
can get violent with this shit, huh?
Listening to 45 Smoke, the first song on this album, it was like listening to Goblin for the first time. And again, not for musical choices, not for anything else like that, but the vision was just so clear. And like he does this like weird kind of like baby voice at the end that like it's a little grating. Like I'm not sure if I dig it all the way, which I felt the same way about Tyler in the beginning. But yeah, like I that comparison immediately struck me. And like, again, that's a bold claim. I'm not trying to come in and say that they're at the same level yet or necessarily that their careers are going to take the same path. But listening to that gave me those same vibes when I was like a middle school or like early high school kid hearing Goblin for the first time and being like, holy shit, this is something. Like this is going to be something in a few years. I also want to say, this is also another kind of like hot take as well. A$AP Rocky bit off DaBaby's flow in his feature on this album.
I can see it. I will say this is one song that he did show me.
I did, yeah.
Because
I did play because I had to do it.
Specifically about the DaBaby thing.
Yeah.
And because you just like this song, but I can see where you're coming from about biting his style.
It's a little. No, here's the thing.
The
It's
thing
in
is
half.
the lyric things, like his lyrics are what I think bring it back to his.
I agree. It's
like
just
his
that
thing. It's
it's
just
that
like
opening.
if it's with him, it's like
that opening thing of him coming like in like I don't remember the exact lyrics, but he's like da bada da bada da bada get bada like it has this instant DaBaby sounding flow. And here's the thing: the verse is kind of cut in half, where like he starts with that sort of like dEaD like like kind of style flow, and then he switches it up and goes back to more of a rocky flow, which is pretty much what I said to you when I showed you the track. So I'm not trying to say that he immediately like bit him completely, but it's definitely the same flow. Like you can hear it because as soon as I heard it, I was listening to it while driving the car, so I didn't know which one was ASAP Rocky. I heard that come on and thought it was dEaD for a second, but then I was like, no, that's ASAP Rocky's voice. And then the lines, like the actual wording, gave it away very quickly.
Yeah,
So
I get that.
it was a great feature. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that it sounded a lot like dEaD, which isn't necessarily a problem. It's kind of a compliment to him, but whatever.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up that point because it was also striking.
I also think that like dEaD kind of bites off Atlanta style with like a North Carolina twist because he is from North Carolina, but like the da 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 that's triplets. I mean, Migos was doing that back in like 2010, 20.
No, I'm not saying like he
but like
branded
but also Migos bit that off from earlier Atlanta.
Exactly.
I feel like it's everyone eventually biting off someone else. There's just a certain gap of time before you go, yeah, no one's gonna remember that they did that. Like much like Travis Scott with "Fuck the Club Up."
Yeah.
I mean, he fully bit off Gangsta Pat, and I don't even know if Gangsta Pat bit off someone else. He could have bit off someone else with that, or if it was his thing, then Travis just bit it.
Gangsta Pat, Slick Rick, where are they? Where are they in pop culture? I swear to God, man. We need to get some respect. We need to get some respect.
We sound like the old heads, like fucking talking about like Tupac and Biggie were the best. There's no, and then before them, people were like Run DMC is the best. There's no one else.
Yeah, but Tupac and Biggie,
the Get Fresh Club,
that's right. The Get Fresh crew.
Yeah, the Get Fresh crew.
Yep.
They are the best.
They are the best.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like everyone's gonna think that they're the best, and like their shit because they're older, they're better because they were the blueprint for what's this, and like. Yeah, well, that's just how evolution goes, and it's just like you're always topping what was already there. That's the point of evolution. It's the point of growing, and music just happens to do that way faster to the point where we think it's not possible, and you're just biting someone. But it's just music grows so quickly, especially right now with the amount of accessibility to making music and finding music and like.
Oh yeah, there's
and
a
like
lot
the
of
libraries of like the amount of
now.
inspiration you can get. So we have everything that's ever
all
been
at your
made
fingertips.
basically, besides what was burned in the Library of Alexandria. But that was just books.
Yeah.
So it's like
No, yeah,
we have everything
an
in history
incredible
of
amount
music, so
to
it's like-
sample.
Yeah.
Which is
so
No, yeah,
you're gonna
again,
bite off someone is what I'm saying. So,
Of
but
course.
like don't do exactly what they do. Like take inspiration, take a little bit of a musical phrase here and like a melody there and put that together and it's something different. It is something different.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no.
I've recently got into that because like it eventually in making music and like making my own music, like you can make only a couple of original things. I feel.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of
It's
like
the same
like a
thing with-
completely unique and in original like like chord progression or a melody or like a harmony like mix and so. Like someone probably did it before you.
Yeah.
But if you
There's only
put your
so
own
many
spin
new
on it and
ideas.
you really like you lean into it and make it your own, then someone's gonna probably call you out. Someone's probably gonna say shit and be like, "Well,
Like
you
us.
took that like us." And
Like
we're
us.
gonna say you bit that. But at the end of the day, like if it means something to you, then it means something to you.
Yeah,
and that's your own thing. And like make
that was
music
my
for
whole
you.
thing.
Make music that sounds good and that people will like to just listen to. But if it make it mean something to you.
Yeah, it's a
Is
compliment.
my thing at the end of the day.
It's a compliment in many ways to dEaD just because he has such a striking flow. I mean, look, like regardless of whether he bit him in actuality or not, it made me think. And look, I've been an ASAP Rocky fan since he came out, and I love ASAP Rocky. So for me to hear his voice and associate it immediately with dEaD before him, I'm just trying to say that that is a pretty clearly now dEaD branded flow. That's all it is. I guess.
I'm on it.
Yeah,
Feeling I'm on it.
yeah. So,
Da, 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 da. Din, 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 din,
but that
din,
said,
din.
as I
he
said,
does
that
all the
song,
time.
Maza, has been stuck in my head for 3
It
days.
was a great
It's
song.
very good. The beat is also incredibly well done. I want to look into who produced this a little bit more, just because it sounds incredible. Like there are some really interesting kind of like playing with. I mean, I don't want to say it's minimalism, like it kind of is in some of like this more stripped back things, but it's also just that hard hitting bass, like style of UK drill.
Darko was the main producer. He produced,
Darko?
he produced
Really?
part of every single song except except for what?
Okay. What? Yep, that
I
was a good
tried.
one too. Yeah,
Focus,
I tried.
Terms,
I like Terms too. Dominic Fike was
and
very
Fuel
good.
Away, but everything else Darko is on.
Terms is a great song too.
So like
I don't know where Denzel
Meza,
Curry
it was
was.
slowthai, Darko, and Samo.
There you go. Yeah, because dude, I love that song Terms. I don't know where Denzel Curry is on it. That's one that I want to show you as well. Just because like
I remember, yeah, that.
I can't. Yeah, I like can't find him in it. There's this one like very deep, sort of like slowed down, almost sounding like like kind of thing, and that might be him, or maybe he just has a writing credit on it. I'm not sure, but yeah, or maybe I'm just completely missing
Apparently,
his
the
verse.
chorus has Denzel Curry in it.
Oh, he's on the chorus.
Make a stain, bitch can't run no game on a player. Maybe that's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that like low voice, like
Maybe that is him.
Yeah, that's probably Denzel Curry then.
Also, the bridge,
Okay.
the bridge is Denzel Curry. Make a stain, bitch can't run no game on
Yeah,
the player.
that's-
Mac. Catch
that's
me at
the
the Shake
low-
John Smoke Loked. Make a stain, bitch can't run no game on the player. Mac.
Yeah.
Catch me at the Shake John Smoke Loked out.
Yeah, so that's the low voice part then. All right, so yeah, it's sort of like that.
He's also in the outro.
Remember when Jaden Smith released that song where he said that ASAP Rocky was on it, but it's just like them talking?
Oh, it's him in the studio talking
Yeah.
for like 2 seconds,
And
and
he's
he's
just
just,
like,
and then he's just like, yo ASAP, let me show you this beat.
Dude, he's literally just like,
And then he goes into another song, and
Yeah,
then, like,
you
you
just
know.
gotta like push it forward, you know.
and then it's like, yeah,
Exactly.
and then that's it. And it's
Yeah,
like,
and you're
dude,
like-
how is
you're
that
like,
an ASAP
that's-
Rocky?
But okay,
feature?
but ASAP Rocky did the same thing with Kodak Black.
No, I know,
during
I know.
a testing.
And I'm not really even comparing it to those couple of things.
By the way,
it's
fuck
more
Kodak Black.
Oh,
for-
interesting. Why? I don't
because
dude,
he touched
I
a
don't-
kid.
Okay, yes,
Like,
yes. I
maybe
thought
because he's a
I thought that you
pedophile?
meant
Suck
recently.
my dick, dude.
Obviously, yes. If you're a pedophile, go fuck yourself. I just meant it more like you put it in the. I thought that you were putting it in a way of like current, something that he had done since getting out of prison or something like that.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's for the kid thing.
I mean, the
Definitely for
kid thing is
kid.
enough, dude. That's enough. That's fine. Fuck that.
Why was he was arrested for weapons possession and
Yes.
sentenced to almost 4 years.
Yes. And then had the sentence.
I mean, here's the
commutation.
thing. Be hard, run the game. Why are you complaining when you get locked up for it? Like it is against the law
Well,
to
it's more
run
just
guns
like-
and run drugs.
and
I don't
also,
like
dude. You're just beyond.
I hate the
that.
cops, but the law at that point, it's like, dude, you're willingly doing something. I
Yeah.
do not feel sympathy when you complain for getting locked up.
Yeah.
If you're like running, like, I agree that
Now your treatment-
but I do agree that there should be a better way so that you don't have to run a business like that, and that you can actually make a livable wage and
Well, yeah,
income
it's-
in this
it's
country, so that
tragic.
we don't have to resort to that. Also, I think we should be legalizing all drugs because addiction is a mental health issue, not
Well, look,
a fucking
it's-
crime.
It's
Looking
tragic.
at you, Joe Biden.
It's tragic that someone in his level of fame still felt the need to, like be involved in like a drive-by shooting. Like again, I'm shouting out a lot of people this episode, but if you guys, haven't watched the Trap Lore Ross video
Yeah.
on Kodak Black, it's very good. Like if you're just sort of like new to the situation, you kind of want all the information on it. Yeah, I mean, like, and he poses that question of just being like, dude, you're a Grammy. Was he a Grammy nominated artist or something like that? But
Probably.
he was making incredible moves in his career. He'd already dropped his studio album. Like, why are you still getting involved in shit like this? Like, you don't need to, and it's not that, and I know that's fucked up to say, it's not like you needed to do it before. As to your point, that shouldn't have been the choice that you have to make anyway, and we should address those issues in the first place. But once you're there and you've gotten out, as everyone says, why are you still going back?
I agree.
Willingly.
I will
like
say
that,
that, like-
that is hard, and not hard for me to understand. It's hard for me to just be like
Sympathize
oh,
with. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be like, well, let him do his thing. It's like, no, like you're selling. Yeah,
It's
but,
fucked.
but like I will say, some people are forced to become affiliated to make it
Of course.
in the rap game because it comes with the support, the financially, physically, security wise, like all that shit, and like fan base wise, it comes with the support of being affiliated with a major gang, whether it's like Blood, Crip, MS-13, literally anyone like who wants to. They all are involved somehow
Yep.
in making hip hop in their regional areas, country areas, global areas. Like it's, there are gang members who are globally recognized. I mean, Young Thug is affiliated.
Yeah.
Like slime
Yeah.
is a blood term.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people become affiliated and then they can't stop becoming affiliated. You're good. You can come on through.
Yeah.
One of our roommates is coming up. Hell yeah.
Yes, he is. Giving a huge shout out to Joe.
Yeah, you're good. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
all good.
no,
Well,
you
actually,
go right ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. It's all good.
Joe's gonna be getting his laundry.
But yeah, like if you are affiliated, that you kind of can't stop being affiliated unless
No.
like it's a very, especially if you make it big, because then they're like, well, we put you up here.
Yeah. No,
You know,
dude,
like
that's
if I'm thinking about it from their perspective, like if I did that, if I was like, I invested all this money into you, all this time, all this effort I gave you,
well, it's a
I
lifelong,
gave you all these things, and
it's a
it's like,
lifelong commitment. Man.
yeah, and like you've made us all this money, we've made you all this money,
Yeah, you
helping you,
can't-
and like
you can't just
you
turn
can't just
around on it
leave.
now.
Yeah, you can't just like leave that whole
No.
situation because like you want to make your own money. It's like no, like now this is an investment we put in, and you are trying to take away our money. I get it.
Yeah. No,
I get why
it
you
as
wouldn't be
well.
able to, but I also don't understand why you couldn't just be like, hey, don't involve me, a big name,
in
and
these
someone who has a
things.
lot of eyes on me in the things that need to be done, like, under wraps.
No,
and
it's a
and
complicated-
fist hand, under the table shit.
Yeah, it's a
Almost a
complicated
hand over
issue.
fist, definitely a different thing.
No, yeah, but it's a complicated issue.
Yeah.
You know, because of course there's the question of like loyalty as well as like at a certain point, like when does that loyalty sort of like become destructive to a degree to your own life, and like is there such a thing as like that loyalty kind of like running out, quote unquote, like for your own personal well-being and safety? I've never been involved in gang activity, so I'm not really one to say.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to pass judgment on anyone for doing that because I've never been through that shit myself.
Absolutely.
So like,
If I had to get jumped into a gang, I'm already not joining.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not getting jumped so I
Pretty
can hang out with y'all.
exactly, dude. That one, yeah. There's some horrible
can't do that
videos of
shit.
Any
Any chance I get to get out of getting jumped in any sense or context, I'm
Yeah,
taking
don't
that
enjoy-
chance. I'm
don't
taking that
enjoy getting
opportunity.
jumped.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna. It can gain your respect. That's fine. I don't feel like getting the shit beat out of me.
No, not at all.
I don't feel it.
Not at all.
Not feeling that.
Well, to wrap up Slow Tie.
Yeah,
That was
we got
good. That was
on a
good.
Good
It was a
tangent.
good tangent.
Yeah, it was a good tangent.
But yeah, to wrap up the Slow Tie album, guys, I would highly recommend giving it a listen. Phil, I hope that you'll give it a listen after this episode. Like I said, 14 songs, 35 minutes, so it's pretty easy to listen to. If you're a fan of UK drill, if you're a fan of just like UK rap in general, I think this is going to be the album for you. I mean, obviously it's got its Skepta feature on there, so you guys can enjoy that. Like I said, covers a pretty wide breadth of territory as far as the life so far of Slow Tie. Yeah, all around, like if you're looking for, as I said, sort of an energizing album, something that's going to get you up in the morning and really moving. And I like I said, it's something that is very new and has a very clear artist voice in it, then this is definitely the album for you. And as I've said now, I think on every episode, this was like my first listen of tracking an artist a little bit since it only came out a few days ago. I'm definitely going to be following Slow Tie on his career. So yeah, this was a great album. I'm looking forward to see what his third effort is going to be and what he might do in the meantime. And when Pandemicville is over, I hope that I can see him in person because Christ, I miss concerts, dude.
I feel
my
that so
God.
hard. Dude. I'm so tired of not being able to go to concerts, man.
It
I
breaks my
miss live
heart.
music more than anything right now.
Breaks my heart.
And I feel really bad for a lot of artists that had good momentum
I know
coming
that-
out.
Yeah.
Who was it the other day? I was talking about how like amazing momentum, then they dropped an album right as the pandemic started, and it got nowhere. Oh, it's
Dude, it was
the,
Denzel Curry.
Denzel Curry. Yeah,
Denzel Curry did that.
they dropped Unlocked right there, and it was
Yeah.
it's fucked that it didn't get to go anywhere. But it was also
It wasn't the front bottom.
it was those guys who they released an album well into quarantine, so like
Yeah.
they definitely recorded that during quarantine. But yeah, it was the guys who recorded with the subway guy.
Oh,
The
okay.
please
All
stand
right.
clear of the closing doors.
Yeah,
please."
I know those.
Yeah. So they dropped like a whole album apparently, and like didn't get to like days before everything shut down. They were about to go on a tour, had to cancel everything.
That is so unfortunate.
Like I also feel bad for comedians.
Oh yeah. Oh
Their
yeah.
whole thing is tour, especially like ones like obviously Tom Segura and Burt Kreischer and people like that, like they're fine. You're
Yeah.
rich already. You have your podcast. You're fucking fine.
Yep.
Like I understand.
but
I understand it's
new-
what you like to do, and it's like what you or not like you. It's what you love to do, and it's your thing. Stop
But
making
new
it seem like it's the end of the
comedians-
fucking world. Like you have millions. You got Tom
Yeah.
Segura. You got fucking sponsored by McDonald's. You're fine. Like you're good.
That was a crazy ordeal. That was
That whole thing. Yeah.
That's
By the way, guys,
insane.
shout out to Your Mom's House.
Of course.
My favorite podcast.
definitely so good.
I think if I had to,
love Tom Segura.
all I do is listen to comedy podcasts. That is literally all I do.
Yeah.
I listen to music and comedy podcasts, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And like, wow. I wish I was funnier too.
we're doing- I
Makes me
think
realize I'm not that funny.
We're doing all right.
Yeah, we're
We'll
getting there.
We'll get there.
Okay, so now, do you have anything else about slow tie you want to go through?
No, I'm good with slow tie, but we should do
So,
the chase lore.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
We should get into the chase lore. So, guys, as you can see before us today on the altar,
Yes.
the altar of sound,
Exactly.
is the this is a black shirt.
Yeah.
Right?
It's our offering for today.
This is our
to chase.
offering to Chase. It's a black shirt
Yep.
to represent his apparel. Now,
Yes.
his apparel doesn't come out of taste or liking the color black or anything. No.
No.
It's far more than that. What Chase does is he can control
Yes.
all the elements of time, of earth, of air, of any element you can think of. He can control it. And
Any earthly tones, Chase
Any of
has
them.
domain over.
any natural power,
Deep
Chase
greens,
has complete and utter
blacks,
control
browns.
in a
it's
vice
just
grip
anything.
of
Yes.
his spirit. You understand?
Yes.
So his clothing reflects that.
Yes.
And for a long time, it
The
wasn't black.
darkness.
It wasn't black because it was a very, very, very dark brown.
Yes.
But,
And sometimes very deep blues.
and very deep, deep blues if he was
Yes.
sad.
Of course.
And but it became black once he eventually was able to consume darkness in a vast amount of quantity.
Yes.
And once he became that, his clothes became completely pitch black because they were reflecting all of the elements. Just like black is a reflection of all the colors on the spectrum, he chose black and he wears black because he can consume and reflect all of the elements of the natural world.
Chase exclusively wears Vanta black everything.
Everything.
From top to bottom, including a top hat, cane, gloves, spectacles, everything.
Everything.
Yep.
Almost a full morph suit of Vanta Black, if you will.
Yep. It is so all encompassing that it makes black holes seem small. So,
Amen.
amen.
And that is our offering for the week
Yes.
to Chase. We will be coming back with our second offering for the week on Friday when we
Chase.
drop the next episode for this week.
At some point, we're hoping that with enough offerings, we'll be able to create a small prayer circle where we will allow the Leviathan God to actually materialize in person, and we might just get him to be able to sit down and talk to you guys. But we'll have to
Only
see.
for an hour.
Yep.
You know, we can only control him for about an hour and a half. And
About
those,
an
those
hour.
other 30 minutes is going to be 15 minutes of prep on either side.
Exactly.
Because, you know, it takes a second to get a God inside of a chair and to tell him to sit down and listen.
Yep, it
So-
does take some time.
Take some time.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so blessings onto thee.
Yes.
I don't
Peace
know
be
why.
with
I don't know
you.
why I did Christianity. Sorry.
Chase be with you. Chase is
be with
good.
you.
Yes.
Chase is good.
Yes.
Rock on.
Exactly.
Music is all.
And on that similar note, just so you guys know,
Doing
that
Catholic
is
signs.
baked. That's baked into you.
Yeah, it
That's-
is.
Yep, that's
Shout out to Texas religion.
yep.
Shout out to
Um,
Episcopalians. Shout out to Methodists. Fuck you. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna say that actually because my mom listens, and I love you, mom.
Don't make your mom sad.
I don't want to make my mom sad. I already do that enough. It's fine.
Oh,
I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. My mom loves me a lot, and I make her laugh.
Yes, you do.
So
Yes, you do. And also on that same note, we are thinking about having some guests on soon.
absolutely, we want to bring
Um,
on some guests so we get some other opinions besides ours.
Exactly.
You can meet our friends.
Yep.
You know, and maybe they can even introduce us to something that we don't know about.
Yep. At some point, we were thinking about doing a live stream with our whole house and just seeing who would want to come on and, just talk about some music, talk about everything. So at some point, once we get a few more episodes in and we're like midway through the first season, we might think about doing that.
Yeah.
So
Because
keep your
contrary
eye
to
out for
popular
that.
belief, we don't know everything about every album. Close.
Yes.
We're close.
we're
But
like
not every album.
we're like Wikipedia, where every now and then we need someone to come in and just do a little editing.
I've gone through more of this 40 than I wish.
You have class, right?
Yes,
Don't
I do
you
have class in in an hour.
Oh God, I love that. I love it.
If anyone needs a ceramic cup or bowl,
You
hit
can
me
hit
up.
Phil.
I'll hand make it for you.
Yeah.
I have access to a ceramics class.
A custom cHaSe.
If you want a custom cHaSe's Dead, that's what we should do. I should make like 20 or 25 like cHaSe's Dead cups, ashtrays, bowls, cups, like something.
Yeah.
And then like, oh wow, that'd be great. Or like an offering cup. It should be an offering cup.
Yep.
That's what we should call it.
I'm
gonna do that.
I like that. I like that a lot. Well, do you wanna talk about DJ Screw?
Yeah. So I would love to get into DJ Screw. So growing up in Houston,
As we know you did.
Yes.
Here's my uncapping. Wow.
That was great.
That
dude.
was
that was phenomenal.
That was fantastic.
That was phenomenal.
Wow.
That was terrible.
It was so bad. So bad. Just no sound. Just
oh my god, that's funny.
all right.
So, growing up in Houston,
Yes.
Houston has a really big hip hop scene in it.
Really?
And it's not like exclusive, I want to say, but it's like it's pretty. It's kind of like small in the way that like when you make it, like the city knows who you are. You know what I mean? So like there aren't a lot of people that like the whole city knows. And one of the people who I was instantly introduced to when I started really getting into like local and kind of like the city, like the city hip hop,
Yeah.
is like DJ Screw.
Okay.
He is the Houston producer, and
Yes.
he changed the game in terms of production style and production like effects and tricks and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because of, obviously named after him, the style of chopped and screwed,
Yes.
which was, excuse me, a style that he created back in the day, back when turntables was still the way you did it. Because he's a
Yes.
DJ, he started doing live events and everything, and that's where he started. And that was back when you still used turntables with the actual records on it. So it wasn't even like these digital ones. So his whole thing was chopping, and chopping refers to taking a vocal and repeating it over and over.
Okay.
So like, let's talk about like in Damn, the song DNA. I got loyalty. That whole thing, that's chopping. Playing it back and go, I got, like that's called the chopping thing. And what he would do is he would chop things up on old records and like and old like vinyls, and he would fuck with it, and he would chop up because his specialty, he was so good at like these very like quick, very precise movements on the turntable, manually doing it live. So like his live performances, I encourage everyone to go on YouTube and look up live DJ Screw performances and concerts and sets like that.
And this was like the 90s?
This is like
or
the
like
90s, like late 90s and going into 2000s, because he
died
passed
in 2000,
away
right?
in 2000, yes.
Yeah.
So I guess not the early, so just 2000. But I mean, but in 2000, he was crushing it, right? But he had also already made so many songs and produced so many things that he continued to have albums come out like far beyond
a lot of posthumous
like post-mortem
releases.
and like and so like the album that I'm talking about today actually technically came out in 2004.
Yeah.
But it was already fully produced and fully created. Every single song was done. All the beats were done. It's just like crazy. Maybe some of the vocals were put in and like punched in, but like other than that, it was done. And it's just like, I don't think there's another artist that had that many songs. Maybe like Mac Miller had a bunch of songs that he would like had half finished, but like these were fully finished songs. Anyways, he's amazing.
Rest in peace to Screw tonight.
So
We
there's
take it
chopped.
slowly.
Yes, exactly. Rest in peace to Screw tonight. We take it slow.
We take it
Oh my
slow.
God, I just can't feel the love.
Yes.
So the chopped and screwed. I talked about chopping. Screwing
Yes.
is what everyone loves, which is slowed and reverbed. Screwed vocals refer to taking, so like what he would do was take a 45 RPM record, right?
Yep.
Which is supposed to, for those who don't know about like records and kind of like doing that kind of stuff, RPM refers to rotations per minute,
Right. Yeah.
which is how many times it goes over and over. So it's 45 every minute. And that is the regular speed that it plays. So if you have something that's on a 45 record, it's going to sound normal at 45. If you put it at 33, which is another, it's like usually the other default speed that you can put it out, or maybe like another setting you can put it out on your record player, it will slow down the whole song.
Yeah.
And that's what he would do, was play 45 records at 33 RPM which then he would then sample those vocals slowed down, or he would do it to his own vocals, which was really interesting because it gave like this like really like drawn out, like really like wavy effect. And I don't know if this was the exact reason that he did it, but to me it feels like the personification of what it feels like to sip lean, which is like the Houston drug.
Okay, all right.
Where it's like it kind of like draws everything out, and you're like, whoa, oh wow. That's why it's like leaning. You don't even lean. It's called lean because you lean and like your body is.
You're not nodding. You're just leaning,
and you're not even thinking about it because it's almost an opiate.
Yep.
I mean, it's codeine. Yep. It is. I think technically an opiate, actually.
I'm pretty,
I think it's technically liquid heroin.
Yeah, it operates the same way for you, essentially.
Which is unfortunately how DJ Screw died. By the way, I want to say DJ Screw's actual name. His actual name is Robert Earl Davis Jr. Beautiful name. Very Texas name.
That is a very
Texas name. Robert Earl Davis Jr.
Yeah. Yep.
So DJ Screw was born out in Smithville, which is a very, very small rural town outside of Austin. It's not even that close to Houston.
Okay.
It's much closer to Austin and San Antonio than it is to Houston. And he grew up there for a little bit. He also moved for a while. He was in Mo City, also known as Missouri City. That is also where Travis Scott is from. And a lot of people, like myself for a while, up until recently, don't consider Missouri City as part of Houston.
Why is that?
Because it's too far outside, and it honestly kind of has its own culture within it.
Okay.
Especially in terms of like.
So it's not an exclusivity thing. It's just
not
more of like a dude. You
but
already got your own shit going on. Like
well,
just
kind of, but like their
that.
thing is based off of Houston. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's right
All
there,
right.
but like a lot of people don't consider it Houston because it's kind of far out there. But like now that I've listened to it, it's such like.
It's
like,
got the same values.
Yeah, it's like saying that like a place an hour outside of Atlanta, and they have a rap. They have like a lot of rappers who are starting to get big, and call themselves Atlanta rappers. It's like being like, oh well, like yeah, you do the same thing as us, and like everything that you do is heavily influences our sound.
Yeah,
but we're not gonna call it. It's like eventually I like kind of like had to look at myself and be like, dude. What are you getting exclusionary for? Like,
there's just not
one. It's not like I did anything to further contribute to the development of Houston sound.
Yeah.
Or 99% of anyone who complains about that kind of shit.
Damn it,
dude.
It's my first one. That was my first one of the day.
Fine. All right. You're not assaulting the equipment as much.
Bad.
I'll give you
not
that.
bad.
You're right. But yeah. So he grew up in Smithville. He comes out to Mo City, where he started DJing at the age of 12, by the way.
That is crazy.
12 years old. This motherfucker is Mozart.
Yeah, that's pretty wild,
like,
dude.
And he fully was doing, be on the tables and he was 12 like doing years old. Yeah.
His own style, kind of like stuff. All right, dude, that is
incredible. In 1983, and by 1990, he's 19, 20 years old. Yeah. That's when he starts doing Chopped and Screwed. He's had so much time, and he's DJ'd so much and done so many things. He knows that people like this thing, and that's what he starts producing all of his songs with, have some version or some context of Chopped and Screwed.
That's okay.
It's so, and so that's why I love All Work No Play, because the All Work No Play to me is one of the quintessential Chopped and Screwed like tapes. Also, like I mean, like you can call them album. But everyone kind of called them mixtapes.
Okay, that's how I've mostly heard of him.
Yeah, a screw tape.
The mixtape.
Screw tape.
Yeah. Yep.
And so that was the whole thing. And then he became part of the Screwed Up Clique, which was a clique and a like rap group. It was like ASAP.
Okay. So like an artist collective kind of.
But instead of DJ Screw being like Yams and not really producing anything, but more of being like a like collective
CEO.
Leader and like CEO of like an organization.
Yep.
DJ Screw was producing for like every single person in this group.
Who was part of this group?
So there's older members, there's newer members, but I think as of right now, the current members stand as Al D, BG Duke, Big Pokey, Big Troy, Botany Boys, Big Jut, Chris Ward, C Note, Njoli, ESG, KK, Lil Flip, Lil Head, Lil Kiki, Lil O, Lil Third, Mike D, love Mike D, shout out. Southside Players, Trey the Truth, Youngstar, and Zero.
Oh my God, I remember Trey the Truth.
But see, like, people who are still technically part of it, but have like either passed or have just like, maybe gone solo.
Yep.
3-2, BG Gator, Big Hawk, Big Floyd, Big Mello, Big Mo, Big Steve,
yeah,
Dat
Big
Boy
Floyd.
Grace, DJ Screw, and of course, last but not least, Fat Pat. Shout out to Fat Pat.
Gotta love
Who
Fat
I don't
Pat.
know. I think he's deceased, but I want to make sure. Has he died? Yeah, 1998 he died.
Year I was born.
Like 2 years before DJ Screw.
Damn. Rest in peace, Fat Pat.
Rest in peace to Fat Pat. He killed the game. Him and Screw.
And
really
rest in peace to DJ Screw.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Screw tonight. We take it slow. Oh my God, I just can't feel the love.
Oh my God, I just can't feel the love.
But yeah, so
Rest in peace to Screw tonight. We take it slow.
yeah, I thought this whole album, it's about an hour. I think it's 50 and a half or like 59 minutes.
You got some standout tracks.
But I got some standout tracks. Don't Mess with Texas, of course. Gang Stars. Don't Mess with Texas has Lil Kiki, Head and Herschelwood, and Hardheads, which is these three. They're all Houston.
Yeah.
Almost everyone on this thing is from Houston in some way.
It's just an H-Town collection.
Whether it's from any of the wards that we have, which we do have wards. Beyonce, I believe, is from the 3rd ward.
Okay.
Or the 6th ward.
Got it.
And that
For people who aren't
Meg, I
familiar.
don't know where Megan Thee Stallion, if she's from a ward or not. I don't think so because I've never heard her say anything. Usually you're pretty outspoken, especially if you're in like the hip hop game about like where you come up. And if
Well,
you're in
for
a ward,
those-
usually you're like in a ward. Like if you think of like, oh my God, I can't think of her name from Big Frida from New Orleans. Always talks about the 3rd ward bounce. That's literally like one of her songs called.
What
Third
do you
Ward
mean by
Bounce,
a
so.
ward for viewers? Who may not be
Oh,
as
so like the
familiar with,
wards are like these
Texas?
neighborhoods or like districts that like the city puts up for places that have like projects or like low income neighborhoods. And it's basically, it's kind of legal segregation if you think about it, because like if you're already in a
in many
system
ways,
that like
it kinda
downplays
seems
like
like it.
systemic racism and oppression, especially in a southern town that in like a southern state like Texas is like, and they like keep them down. It's a whole thing.
It's a very
We don't have to get into that.
problematic
Yeah, it's a
issue.
very problematic thing. But
those are what the wards are.
yes, those are what the wards
And they're
are.
numbered.
Places like Houston, New Orleans have wards. I don't know if Atlanta has wards, or they might have like their own sections.
But anyway,
Yeah.
a lot of large Houston artists are from the various wards
Yes,
in the city.
yes.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. Because that's where a lot of like the culture came from, is those low income neighborhoods. Because like rap started in low income neighborhoods, and it's in Black culture. It's engraved into Black culture because it is like what they create. It's what like Black culture created.
Yeah.
Like that's
course.
why that's why you don't see a lot of white kids in it.
Yeah.
Unless
Well,
I guess
I think you do. It's just most
you do, but you don't see them making it in a
belong.
genuine sense, and nothing that they
Yeah.
say is genuine, and you can fucking tell because you look at them and you go, I know for a fact that you have not come out of the mud.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I know
what do
you have not
you-
made it out the mud. Like,
Sincerely, dude. What are you talking about?
hey Jake, I went to high school with you, dude. You drive a Lexus. You
Yeah,
didn't
like-
make it out the mud.
Calm.
Yeah, I'm calling you out.
Calm down.
Certain
Calm
person,
down.
Jake.
Yeah. Yep. There are a lot of rappers from my town in
Yeah.
Connecticut.
But
I'm gonna say that again. A lot of rappers from Connecticut. Yeah.
some wear headbands. Anyways.
No, man, he's not that bad. He's not that bad. I'm not even talking about him. I'm talking about
Anyway, so
other people.
basically DJ Screw, where he kind of makes the screwed up click. So let's get back to the album. Let me get back to the actual album so I
Yes.
can convince you to listen to this, even though I've already convinced you to do it off camera.
Of course.
And let me convince you to listen to this.
Yes.
Houston
What
has
is
its
your
own sound.
argument?
When you listen to Migos, when you listen to Young Thug, when you listen to Future, that's the Atlanta sound, right? Those really hard hi-hats, very crisp, like triplets, that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
Really hard snares. Your bass has like a wow, wow, wow. And it's hard. It's trap. Houston has its own sound. Houston's sound is wavy. It's obviously chopped and screwed. It's more... drugged out is the wrong word. It's
Intoxicated.
intoxicating.
Yeah.
Yes. And but it's also got good like very solid like percussion to it usually, and like rhythm. And so that's why I like this kind of album. And also like the beats are very like, like you're bouncing in your car, because in Houston, there's a lot of car culture. Specifically, you get really nice old Cadillacs, and you just like dress them down. Candy paint, that's a Houston thing that started in Houston. The spiked rims, where they sit on the outside and
They tear up.
they're like 1.5 to 2 feet away from the fucking rim of the car.
Yep, yep.
That's a Houston thing. That's
Yep.
what we started. That's like our thing. And so it's got this kind of album, and a lot of albums like All Work No Play, from DJ Screw, from Mike D, from Fat Pat, from people like that, from Chameleonaire. You get those kind of beats and those kind of instrumentals where you're feeling like I'm
You
bouncing
wanna
in my
feel
car.
it in
I've
your
got a
car.
double cup sipping. That's what it is. Like that's what it's made for.
That's who it's made for.
That's who
as
it's
well.
made for.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So some standout songs I have on this, like I said, Don't Mess with Texas, Gang Stars featuring Mob Fingers.
Yeah.
Mob Figures, sorry. Like figures.
Yes.
And
It's
and-
like
and-
figures.
and like-
You see, if you look right here, it's not exactly money figures. It's like that, but it's a
It's like the
colloquial
word
version.
money figures, but it is not. It is figures. Figgaz. Mob figures. Like figures.
Yes, it's
but
like-
not.
But it's not figures.
But yeah.
All right, yeah.
I thought I said fingers for a second. I was like, that doesn't make sense. but
Mob
okay.
fingers.
Mob fingers.
I got some mob fingers.
You better watch out. I might get a little handsy with these mob fingers and steal your stuff.
You want to feel my mob fingers?
I don't like how that sound of rubbing makes.
It's a very. That's pretty much what I was going for. It was just a like.
And then one of the other ones is Screw Mix. I like that song a lot.
Of course.
I think this whole album is great. I think
How many tracks did you say?
it is 12 tracks.
12
it's
tracks.
about 58 and a half to 59 minutes, I believe. I think it's phenomenal. It is a quintessential Houston album.
Yep.
And if you ever wanted to know what the deepest, the most south metropolis in the country sounds like, it's this album.
What would you play it for? Like what?
I mean, like you could play it in a club. I would play it driving around, like at night. Maybe you're about to get to a party, like a house party. That puts you in a real good house party mood. I remember in high school, I would listen to some DJ Screw songs right before I went to a house party.
Yeah.
Knowing that like it was gonna get like crazy, especially if I wasn't driving, because drink responsibly and never drive drunk.
Don't drive drunk, please.
Because I would know that like it was about to bump, and like, you know,
That got you in the. That got you in the
it got
right
me in
gear.
a great mood to
Yes.
start partying.
Well, that's great, dude. I love that. I mean, I've heard great things about DJ Screw forever. I mean, obviously he's a legend for a reason. But I've never listened to a lot of his actual stuff.
He's
So
got a
it'll be-
deep discography, and a lot of it has come out post mortem,
Yeah,
and it's
posthumously. It's
completed,
crazy.
and it's like done, which is crazy to me. Like, you know, there's people like Juice WRLD that they were talking about releasing stuff. They've released some Lil Peep stuff since he died, and then like X, they tried to release stuff, and it's like it's always half done, and like this is like fully completed work that he had
Yeah.
ready to go.
Yeah, well, you're filling in less of the gaps and you're making less
Yeah.
assumptions when they're finished. You know,
Yeah, I
it
mean, like,
feels
yeah.
more like an actual release.
If your whole instrumental is finished, the song's basically done because you can put different vocals on any track ever. You know what I mean? So yeah.
DJ Screw, man.
DJ Screw, I
All work,
encourage
no
all of you
play.
guys to go listen to him and get educated on that H-Town sound. Word up to Screwston.
H-Town sound, dude.
Yep.
Well, that's fantastic.
Word up to the Dirty H.
Love that. I
Love you.
love that.
I almost threw up a fake gang sign for no reason at all.
I thought you were just gonna say I almost threw up. It's just like, oh, nice.
I
All
almost
right.
vomited.
It's like, yeah, this 40's getting to me already. I'm about to throw up. I don't know.
So, you want to know something real quick?
Yes. What's that?
You were wrong about the bathroom break.
Oh, really? We're gonna have to take one.
I'm gonna take one.
All right, cool, guys. We're gonna
We'll
be
be
right,
right
back. Just give us 1 second.
Bye.
Hey, well, that was a record time pee, Phil.
Yeah, under 2 minutes.
Yeah,
you
you
could say
know.
I'm the Usain Bolt of peeing.
Could you say that? Would you want to say that? Is really the question.
Yes, I think of it as an
I
accomplishment.
feel like there's a better
I'm
like
getting
pun
far
in there.
more tipsy than I wanted to at fucking 11:30 in the morning right now, dude. Why do I
Gotta
do
be-
this for the show?
You're gonna be at the pottery class, like
Yeah. I'll put my hands on it and be
Trying
like,
to,
I literally can barely feel my hands.
You're just trying so hard to get it round, and it just won't get round. Everyone's in the class like, Phil,
they're like,
they
dude,
didn't even
you
tell
are
us."
getting water everywhere right now,
Like,
dude.
Phil, we haven't started yet, and you're just there like, I'm almost done.
I'm almost finished. It's
Almost
like, dude, we've been here
done.
for 5 minutes. There's no way you're almost finished.
I'm almost done. And
That's a pile of mud,
it's
Philip.
just clay that's like bent over itself a bunch of times. Like you're not even forming it. You just have like your computer on the wheel and you're trying to like spin it faster.
I'm not even pressing the pedal. I'm just like, come on. This fucking carousel sucks.
Oh my god.
It's like one of those like the playground things where like they had like the handles on the thing that would always get someone hurt. Where
Yeah.
like you'd spin it a bunch of
Oh
times.
right, we're gonna put a picture right here so you guys know what I'm talking about. Just this thing. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Where you would just whip yourself right. I just hit myself in the
Yeah,
face.
I saw that. That
But-
was pretty funny. Honestly.
I just whip yourself off of the like spinning.
Oh yeah. Or like you had a friend who
Yep.
you would like run around a couple of times and they just like throw their hand
Yep.
like this and you'd be like,
Yep.
And then like if you're facing on the outside, you have your legs out and then you bring your legs in and it'll spin even
Yeah.
faster. Or like another time that's like that when like you have like rolly chairs like ours and you can
Yes.
spin in them. I love that because like
You guys remember those
you just get someone
carts?
going and they have their legs out and you bring it in and you just like
Yeah.
I've broken like 3 chairs doing that before.
Do you remember those little? Maybe you had them in gym class. I'm sure that a lot of you guys did too. The like little like they were basically pieces of plastic with wheels.
Oh,
on the
rolly
bottom.
squares. Yeah, like the rolling squares. Yeah.
And you would like
Those
just
things got people
destroy,
fucking
dude. You
hurt.
would destroy each other on it because for us, like in our middle school, it would be like, yeah, we're gonna play this game with them, but no one actually fucking played the game.
Yeah, you
like
just
were
messed around
on
with that whole long-
So you would
yeah.
just run, like jump and kneel on one, so you're going like so fast and just
You're like
nail
luging
another
almost,
kid.
like-
Yeah,
it's like
dude,
it's as dangerous as luging.
I remember we put like one of my friends on like 3 of them and just like threw
Yeah,
him
that's
across
the
the
he's
gym.
like laying
and you're just,
flat.
dude, and you don't stay straight.
No, they all go different
this
ways
is the
because like
path that
all
you're
of them have
going.
like bent and dented wheels somehow. Like
and they're all spinny
Yeah.
wheels. So when you push someone forward, they automatically go like this.
Yeah.
Like they just
and you like
start
start to spin.
turning.
You're like, why am I even spinning right now?
I never
It's like-
started spinning.
It's like if you went to like a water park and you got in the tube and you start accidentally like flipping to go backwards down the big slide, like right at the big park, and you're like, oh my, I'm gonna die. Like I'm going into this water, it's gonna hurt.
Yep.
And then inevitably you get hurt.
Yep. Oh,
But yeah, that I remember as a kid, that was one of the scariest feelings, is like
So
starting
bad.
to like turn
Go
backwards
over,
in a
yeah.
tube and you're like, no, come
No.
on, and you start to do this and somehow it makes you go more
And
like
you're like-
faster.
you're
You're like,
like, "Oh,
please. Okay, I'll go.
please."
How about this? I'll turn all the way around. You start to
then-
turn that and then it starts going and you're like,
It's
is
that
the
way,
devil working against me
It's
right
that way
now?
with water slides. It's that way with snow tubing, sledding,
100%.
like everything like that. You always end up turning around.
Why is it that when sledding is portrayed in media,
Yes.
specifically Calvin and Hobbes,
Yes.
it looks like he can control where it goes, and I know for a fact that you can't.
You know what?
Why do we have reins on
I love
there
Calvin and
when
Hobbes.
you can't even fucking
That's
control
a
where it
great.
goes?
That's a great fucking question because Calvin rides that shit around being
Like a whip, like
dude,
a Porsche.
He
Like-
does it like it's a horse.
Yeah, it's
I don't
crazy.
understand. I don't get that either because sleds are not like that
Mm-mm.
at all. I mean, you can steer a little bit, but it's less with at least for the ones that I grew up with as a kid. Those like longer sleds.
Yeah.
You like kind of pull them like this, and you can sort of turn, or if you like lean. But with those fucking like the
The
actual
wooden ones, like the
wooden
toboggan.
ones, yeah, you cannot.
You can't
turn
do that in a
those.
toboggan.
You cannot turn them
No.
because as soon as you lean, you're over.
You're over,
You
you're
just
gone,
fall.
you're gone.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
fall right over.
It's the craziest thing ever. It's so crazy because
Yeah.
and it also, if you try to lean in those plastic ones and you catch it wrong,
You will fall,
You're
yeah.
tumbling.
Yeah, you will tumble.
You're
over.
just like, whoa.
dude, I want to go sledding again. I haven't been sledding since.
Start
I
looking
was
like a
kid.
NASCAR crash after that.
Yeah,
And then you're on fire.
And
Why am I
then
always on fire?
you're always
dude?
on
What the
fire.
fuck?
Oh, you catch on fire when you go sledding
All the time.
You
I'm
should
always on
See
fire.
a doctor about that.
No.
that is not
I'm
natural.
not going to because
But
I don't
you
trust them.
Definitely. Are you still drinking nitroglycerin every day?
Yes, dude. It
That
tastes
is-
delicious.
that
It's
is
like pudding.
absolutely why you catch on fire all the time.
But it's so good.
That's why though.
It's like milk.
Okay, well, don't drink it though.
Fuck, man.
All right. Well,
But yeah, that's my thing on DJ Screw. So
from one very uplifting topic to another, let's move on to the A Train Ripper.
yeah, our final subject here, going 30 seconds away from an hour. So we'll go a little bit over today again, guys. So,
Yep.
Well,
guys,
not too far, but again, thank you guys for checking it out. Like and subscribe if you guys like it.
Yes, please do.
We hope to get sponsors soon so we can do everyone's favorite ad reads.
Oh, of course. At some point, we'll be telling you guys about like Raycon and
Or like
Raid Shadow
or like
Legends.
sheath underwear.
Yeah, just something.
Raid Shadow.
Raid
Legends, dude.
Shadow Legends.
Or like Tushy.
yes.
Or
Or
me. Oh, dude.
Manscaped.
If MeUndies sponsors us, please. I need underwear.
Yeah, I could do that as well.
I love having y'all's type of underwear.
So
is my
basically,
type.
anyone who wants to sponsor cHaSe Dead, please just shoot us an
Specifically
email.
Coors Light though.
Yeah, shoot us an email.
Coors Brewing Company, please.
So Phil and I live in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, along
Yes.
with a bunch of our roommates. And
We live in a house with 6 people.
yes, we do.
It's as close to like, I don't want to say a frat house, but it's as close to like an incubation house as you can get without being an asshole.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like-
Yeah, no, yeah, that's a very good way of putting it. But we have 2 train lines that we are able to get by us, which is the blue line and the orange line.
Yep.
Or no, it's the orange line, not brown line.
No, we okay. So by us, there is a line that carries both the M on the orange line and the J on the brown line.
Yes.
That's
No,
what it
yeah,
is.
you're right. You're right.
But the
That's true.
specific stop is a brown line stop.
Exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, we have those 3 train lines by us. And the specific trains we usually take are the A train and the J train.
Sorry, I winked at the camera for no reason. I just like
We're talking about a serial killer.
it was me. It was me.
I'm confessing live, dude. Oh God. So yeah, we take the A and the J, pretty much anywhere that we go, especially if you're going into Manhattan. And recently there was a spree attack of multiple people, and there were how many deaths was it? Was it 3 or 4 people? were killed?
So they can confirm 2.
Yes,
Right. But
linked to the same person.
yes, linked to the same guy on the same day. That was
Yes.
2 days ago. But now they're thinking that they're like very heavily connecting him with another one, like with 2 others.
Yep.
And there was an attempted third that day with the 2.
Well,
There
yeah.
was an attempted third, so there would have been a 5th that they've connected, or there would have been a third that they could solidly connect him to, like factually. But he was the only one that survived, and that's actually how they caught him, is because he remembered what the guy looked like.
Yep. Well, turned out to be a 21-year-old. I reported as a homeless man. I'm not going to drop his name here because you guys can find it if you want it. I don't want to do that to,
I don't
to
want
the
to give
guy.
his name a fucking
I know that
platform.
he was probably like experiencing some mental health issues.
Oh, he
and
absolutely was.
like, look, that's obviously something that everyone needs help with, and so on and so forth. Blah 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 blah. All the correct stuff that I should be saying. At the same time, like if I got stabbed to death on the A train, wouldn't really feel the same way
Yeah,
about it.
mental health or not, I'd be
Um,
like, you stabbed me.
You killed me.
You
so
dickhead.
yeah.
You
It's a
dickhead?
complicated you dickhead. it's a complicated I guess like feeling as far as that goes. But he turned out to be
It's
a
a hard
20
subject once you find out
Yeah.
that they like have clear mental issues,
Of
and like they're
course.
homeless, and so like they're already fighting against all of those terrible obstacles, and then like on top, but then they do something like this, and you're like, well, I mean,
it turns into like
you stabbed them like an unbelievable, like not just
Yeah.
like one stab because it was like an altercation, like
No,
like
yeah,
it was
the-
like standing on top.
the
like,
pictures were pretty graphic and
he didn't go as far as
gory.
OJ, like they weren't unrecognizable, but goddamn, he went
Look,
far.
there were pictures on Instagram for
It
a
was
while
rough
that I
to look
remember
at.
seeing of the A train stabbing specifically. And not only was there literally, I mean, I'm not exaggerating, literally blood everywhere.
Everywhere.
But
You could put your kids in that pool and they would be up to their waist.
yeah, but the body itself was like, it looked so fake because that's how bloody he was. Like it looked like a movie stabbing. And that's what a lot of people said in the comments until it was confirmed that it was real pictures
Yeah.
and there was paramedics and some of the later images working on that same person. It's it's just kind of a dangerous time to be, I guess, like in the city and like not in every area, but like, dude, it's people are going through some shit right now.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I don't know what else, and I don't know how else to put it. Everywhere is equally as dangerous in the city, but like it's dangerous throughout.
I would
you
say
know?
I've always thought this, and I don't remember exactly where I saw it, but I remember reading it and like thinking about it, and
Yeah.
like it is so true. Is that the violence and the caliber of violence in crime is directly correlated with the public knowledge of corruption in the government.
Yes. Well, that's yeah. I mean, look, that's
Directly,
that's what I was trying to
if
say.
it is, if we know for a fact that the government is not
No,
only
people-
corrupt but getting worse and worse in front of us, and we can see it, the propensity for violence and the caliber and the like just intensity of that violence will go up equally,
No,
like directly
people-
correlated with it, if not doubly.
People are beyond frustrated right now,
Because
dude.
the
I mean,
people
look,
who are supposed to be ruling us and who we elect into fucking into office, whether it's judicial, executive, or legislative, they're all fucking like they're all the worst.
yeah.
They're the worst possible humans in existence, and they're somehow all in power.
And
It's the craziest thing in the fucking world.
It's a desperate time,
Especially
man.
on a federal level. I don't know everyone's state legislature. I know Texas pretty well. I know all of them are fucking dickheads, and they're
Yeah.
the fucking worst people I've ever met or seen talk.
Yeah.
Like I've
Dude,
met
look,
quite a few of them, and they are some of the
people-
worst people. Like
People
they
are
are just
going through the shit right now.
blatantly douchebags, men
Yeah.
or women.
Everybody's angry right now, man. I mean, like, and it's directed, I think, a lot at the government, just because it's like, dude, look, we've been suffering for a year, and like, again, I am in no way an anti-mask or anti-like pandemic, anything like that. We did what we had to do to keep everybody safe and healthy and so on and so forth. But you also can't leave small business owners and really all Americans, and for any other country doing anything similar, any citizens out to dry by just saying you can't work for a year or something, or you can't work in person, or you're going to have your industry, if not at least slowed down, halted altogether. You
Or-
can't do that and then just say, but good luck though, because that's not cool either.
Oh.
The pandemic, I'm sorry,
No, you're good.
the quarantine was necessary, more like that goes without saying, but leaving so many people destitute because of the quarantine that you mandated is not okay. That is where you lose, I think, everybody on both sides, from the fucking crazy anti-maskers who, are likening it to abortion, saying my body, my choice. Go fuck yourself if you do that, because you're actually a piece of shit, and I hate you if
But yeah,
you do that.
that argument is very
But,
different, obviously.
Again, like from those people all the way up to the people who wear 3 masks and haven't been outside and don't take public transportation.
And
They
yell at
would
people
all
and call them
agree.
selfish monsters for
Yeah.
just wanting to go see their fucking friend.
Yeah,
I hate you.
like
I hate
it's-
you.
Yeah,
We
it's
both hate
fucked.
both sides.
It's just fucked up. It's fucked up. So
Well, but in this case specifically, you can't be a government that does not help the people who do not have homes and doesn't even provide literally like any service. I mean, the only services that are provided in New York are because of the city or because of volunteer groups. There is nothing that the federal government is providing for people who are fucking homeless and have no
Dude,
and can't in this guy's case, he's been to jail so many times, and he has a criminal record to the point where I'm sure no one
he
will
had a
hire
history
him.
of but he had a history of violence
And,
as
and
well.
no one's getting and
yeah.
no one's helping to rehabilitate that or even recognizing that he
attacked-
has an issue like that.
Well, he attacked
that needs
his
to be helped.
dad, like usually unless you come from, and I do not know this guy's information like that, so I'm not putting it either way, but unless you come from like an incredibly abusive background, if you're attacking your parents physically, usually that denotes some sort of just nothing like bad about you, but you need some help, right?
Yeah.
Like that
Well, I always
starts
think
to,
that like if you're
you
like
know.
attacking your parents, you don't know what goes on inside of the household or
Of course not.
or just inside of their family, and that's why like there's some fucked up shit that goes on in families. So like I have a hard time being like choosing a side when it comes to like physical violence inside of a family, unless it's like the husband hitting like a wife or like hitting like a man hitting a woman.
Domestic
Then I'm
violence
like, dude,
is obviously
then I'm
a
like,
different.
dude,
yeah,
get your hands off.
yeah.
But
That's
if
a
it's like
different
daughter
thing.
fighting mom, dad fighting or son fighting dad, like
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, there are
at that
obviously
point, I'm like,
extenuating
I don't know, like,
circumstances.
I
At
don't know what
times.
happened. I don't know if he is abusive. I don't know if that kid is a piece of shit kid. I don't know what
Well,
goes on
that's what I'm
within
saying.
your household.
But I'm saying, like, assuming that there is no abusive shit.
Yeah.
If you are attacking your parents, I'm not saying that makes, to the contrary. I don't think it makes you a bad person. I think it denotes the fact of, okay, you need some help dealing with whatever the stress, anxiety, resentment, whatever that is that caused you to lash out physically at somebody that's supposed to be your caregiver.
Very
you know?
true.
Yeah, so like again, I don't know what was going on with this young man's life. You know, he's only 21, so it's unfortunate that now he's labeled as the A Train Ripper for the rest of his life. But again, if that were me, or if that were my dad or someone else who he murdered on the A Train, I'm sure that I would feel very differently. So there's two sides to the coin. Anyone who's living in New York City at the moment, or really any major metropolitan area, be careful out there and look out for each other, especially because I mean, like, look, the people
mean
who
to
are
laugh,
doing this. No, I don't
I'm not
either.
laughing
But
at
like,
that as a picture on your computer.
No,
Sorry,
yeah.
just that picture you have of him. Is that pants around his ankles?
all right, guys. Well, our camera battery died, so we had to switch that out. And
Sorry.
honestly, like,
Sorry
please
about that.
never do that again.
Ooh, sorry.
Don't you ever do that again. So,
Sorry, I just
we're
beat
gonna.
up the stand
We
myself.
should. You did. You've been hitting it more than me
Sorry.
today. So we're gonna wrap up for this week, just because we realize that we're well over an hour. But as I was saying, guys, just if you're living in New York or any like major city, be careful out there. Look out for each other. Obviously, there's a very minority group of people who are out there trying to cause harm to other people in the like subway systems and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
that
very
said,
small group, very small
just-
amount of people.
yeah, just stay safe, stay aware, and obviously, like if you see anyone like being attacked or anything like that, I'm not necessarily saying to step in and risk your life doing that. If you feel the
don't
need
be
to
a
do that.
hero.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm
But-
specifically telling you to don't be a hero.
but get some help.
But please help someone.
Call for help.
in like get a cop or
Yeah,
someone with like a weapon.
Yeah, do what you need to do in order to try and help that
I
person.
hate hearing stories
know?
about dudes like trying to jump in and be like, "I'm gonna help."
Yeah, it's not the best way.
Like okay, obviously the context of the guys who died in Portland on that bus stabbing. Those guys were good people. I'm not saying you aren't a good person for doing that, but like
No, you're a fantastic person for doing it.
You will probably add to the
Don't-
body
yeah,
count if
don't-
you try to step in and try to like manhandle the situation.
Don't become collateral. That's all.
Yeah, don't
That's the
become
whole thing.
that's a good yes.
Yeah, don't become
Step
collateral.
in, but don't become collateral.
Exactly. All right, guys.
Well, that sounds good, y'all.
Thank you so much again for tuning in this week. We'll be back once again on Friday with another video with episode 4. Like, share, and subscribe if you can. Definitely, just send that podcast out to any family members,
Force your family
anyone,
members to listen to our show.
Yes, anyone
Force
that you
them.
might, be able to sit down and brainwash for a solid period of time. Just get them interested in the podcast.
Yeah.
And we would really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great week. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
You've got to be kidding me, dude. No.